DJ Reed, which we're hopeful he'll play, but we'll see how that goes. And then Xavier Newman is in the same boat. Brees, he looks good right now, so it's promising.
So is he questionable, or is there going to be an injury?
I don't know what the designation is. Is it on here? It says questionable, but we're hopeful. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
When did Kane get hurt? Well, how? It was a hand.
It was, yeah. He broke his hand, and on one of the returns, unfortunately, and it's a guy that he brought such value as a returner. To put him out there with a broken hand, just thought it'd be a counterproductive for him and for us as a team. So, unfortunately, cuts the season short. That what a bright light he was, and what an amazing future I think he has in this league. And saying that he's already, he's been a really good player for quite a while. So, unfortunate, but he'll be back.
And what happened with DJ?
Groin. Yeah, so it's been something that's kind of lingered here and there. It's gotten aggravated, and then it went away, and then got aggravated again, and so he's just dealing with that.
So he practiced today?
He did not practice today. No.
Sure.
We're hopeful. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. He's been a guy that it's been sore on a Friday. He's been able to play on a Sunday multiple times this year, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, he went out there today. He was a guy that early in the week we might have said that was doubtful, but a little bit more promising now, after what we saw out there today.
Is Michael Carter still dealing with the back issues that cropped up? I think he only played 12 snaps last week.
Yeah, the back has kind of flared up on and off this entire season. It's been so frustrating for him because, as we all know, he's just this amazing teammate, and he feels such an obligation to the Jets organization, and especially after they rewarded him with a contract that he was absolutely deserving of. So it's been a frustrating year for him in that way, frustrating for all of us because he's one of our better players, especially in the back end there, and not having him out there as much as we've had him in the past. It's been tough at times.
With all this we're talking about this movement at corner, how valuable has Aller been for you guys?
Oh, my goodness.
You kind of moved to 3 positions.
4 positions. Yeah. So he's played dime, he's played nickel, he's played safety, and he's really played wheel backer in some capacities too. So just such a cool chess piece for us. And he does it without blinking an eye. A lot of times this year on the sideline, wherever the injury occurs in the back end, and we go to him, right, you're going to have to play safety, even though he hadn't played safety for, say, 3 weeks. And it's like, cool, I got it. And even the Minnesota game was probably one of the most amazing demonstrations of that when MC gets hurt in pregame warmups. And I go to him after 0 practice reps at nickel that week, and he didn't blink an eye. Showed him I think I told you guys the story. Showed him the call sheet, and he said, "Call it all." And just so rare that you got a guy like that.
If Brandon and DJ can't go, it's content on. How
Yep.
comfortable are you with him getting saved?
I'm excited for him. Yeah, so if he gets an opportunity to play, I'm excited about what he can do. He's a guy he's demonstrated great growth this season, and he's got elite ball skill. So if we got to roll with Quantez Stiggers, we're excited about that opportunity for him and for us.
How big a challenge are their edge guys?
They are, if not the best edge tandem, they're up there. They're both they're both so similar in that way. They're both long and fast and physical and relentless. And, it's going to be a great challenge. We're going to have to account for those guys every single snap. And the second you don't, that's when they can absolutely wreck a game. So it's going to be a great challenge for our tackles.
On the other side, what does Brian Thomas show as a rookie? He seems to be making a lot more plays.
Man, I was not ready for the tape, when we threw it on initially. Tremendous speed. If he gets behind you, it's over with because he's got the speed to finish, and he's got the hands to make it happen as well. And I think he's starting to build some confidence with the coaching staff because they're really starting to utilize him and feature him in a lot of the stuff they do. So he's another one. Those edge guys you got to account for. You better account for number 7 too. Every rep.
There's been a lot of talk this week about the culture and winning, and you've talked a lot that you think the culture is right. Well, why isn't that translated onto the field in terms of the tangible results? You give a sense why it hasn't translated?
Yeah, we've fallen short in some critical moments of games. We talk about it all the time, being your best when your best is required, and that's 2 minute, that's red zone, that's third down, that's all these critical moments, and and we haven't executed to our ability and to our potential, and it's frustrating beyond belief, So, but at the same time, I'm very fortunate for this team that there is no relent, there is no back it up. These guys they've stayed committed to the process and working their butts off, and we're still playing hard and we're still playing together. So as long as we got that, we got a chance. But to your point, very frustrating, absolutely.
You faced Mac Jones a bunch
Yep.
over the years. What are you seeing now from him in a new place, new role for him?
Yep. Similar player, obviously. Schematically, obviously, they do a few things that different. He sees the field amazingly, and he always has. That's always been kind of his superpower as far as seeing coverage and problem solving and making the right decisions. So, yeah, he's gonna be a challenge. And the thing that Mac Jones doesn't get enough credit for is his mobility. He doesn't strike you as Michael Vick by any means, but his legs, he consistently extends plays. He consistently scrambles and makes yards. So you got to account for him both ways.
How does that impact your coverage units with Irv on IR and Brandon Doubtful?
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, Irv was, in my opinion, the best gunner in football. And Brandon Eccles not too far behind. So the tandem of those two were as good as it gets. So there's going to be some guys that absolutely have to step up. JBC, Stiggers. There are a lot of different guys that are going to be candidates to do it, but it's a great challenge for those guys, great opportunity for those guys to step up. And at the same time, the rest of the guys are going to have to pick up slack a little bit. The cover unit, Timo, all those guys. So it's hard to replace a guy like Irv, really hard.
There was a lot of excitement about Corley here when he got drafted. He did not good last week. Really, he just hasn't had a big role this season.
Right.
What does he kind of need to do to get more playing time and a bigger role on this team?
I still think every single person in this organization has great faith in what he will become. He's got great talent. He's tough. He's been an asset when he's been in there as far as a blocker is concerned. Haven't got him the ball maybe necessarily as much as we'd like to, just to see what kind of ball carrier it could be, because that was his thing, especially in college where the Yak King stuff was real in that way, So he's a young guy that's he's growing and as young guys do, they struggle sometimes, and he's learning his process still, and still have great faith in what he'll become. He's just not quite there yet.
What do you think about the argument of you guys are 3-10, playoffs try to reach, just play him because he might need the reps to kind of develop here versus a veteran guy who may not be part of the future with the organization?
Yeah, it's a great point, and but also to that point, and this is maybe the ex-player in me, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I think it's not fair for the guys that play that you're not putting the best unit out there that gives you the best possible chance to win, and I think that can be very frustrating for players when they think an organization just wants to take a look at guys and flyers on guys as opposed to who's the best equipped human beings to win this game. So that's the approach we're going to take here on out.
I was going to be asking about Morgan on Wednesday, but when we saw him on Sunday,
Right.
we were talking in the locker room, he could barely move his arms.
Yeah.
He was fine. He's been probably been limited. But
Yeah, Morgan Moses is another bright spot of this season. Just named him the 5th captain for this game. He is. He's one of those rare human beings that could play in any era of football. I don't care if it's the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. He has a level of toughness that is just rare. It's rare. He would play with anything. He played with one of his arms falling. It doesn't matter. He is down for whatever. And it really is. I think he has an authentic toughness about him, and he would just do that anyway. But I also feel like he has this real. He really feels this real obligation to his teammates and real love for his teammates, and by going out and playing every week, even when he's hurt, it's the way he demonstrates that. And just so rare, and we're just so fortunate to have him on this team.
Take a couple more.
What's your philosophy on the 4th down? Last week, 2 for 2,
Mm-hmm.
1 early in the game where it's in your own territory. How much do you weigh analytics versus feel the game?
A little bit of both. I wish you guys could hear our headsets. We were prepared to go for a lot more than 2. So. Sometimes analytics will tell you to do that. Sometimes the feel of the game I'll tell you the biggest influencer of that sometimes is Aaron, you know, because he's aggressive mindset. He always wants to go. He always wants the ball in his hands, and we all have great faith in him in those moments that he's going to do the right thing and he's going to put it the place it needs to go. So we'll continue to be aggressive. We will, but it's a combination of both analytics and field.
As a guy who probably played against them and coached against them, what was your take on Belichick going to North Carolina? Surprised?
Yeah, a big surprise. You know, it's you know, college football. It says football, but it really is a different sport in a lot of ways, and it's a different sport, not just the hash marks and the age of the players that you're coaching. It's there's a lot of stuff outside of football that's a challenge in college football. So it'll be interesting, you know. But at the same time, like, there's maybe not a human being that knows football better than that man. So if there's one that's going to have success, I would, you know, I'm not betting against him. I know that.